From reading chapters 3, 4, and 5, what really stuck out to me was chapter 4, which is basically chapter 4 just covers gender and sexuality from like the mentality of becoming a woman into like your sexuality, that is, that, etc. Um, what really stuck out to me was the biology and sexual orientation part, which goes deeply into homosexuality and heterosexuality. So basically, growing up, my grandfather was very religious, and so he'd always say that homosexuality was a disease in the brain and that there's something wrong with people and stuff like that. And like me being the person I am, I'm very loving and accepting of everyone. So I'm just like, I mean, they're just regular people to me. You know, you love who you love, stuff like that. And so going into this course, I really wasn't expecting to run into this type of reading, but you never know what you're going to expect going into a course and like different books that you're reading, etc. And so from this chapter in the biology and sexual orientation part, gathering from my personal experience with my understanding of homosexuality and heterosexuality, this book gives me an in-depth meaning going into the research on this huge topic in the world. And so it goes into saying that the brains differ with sexual orientation. So they're not saying that it's a disease, they're saying that homosexuality people's brains work differently. And so um, one of the people said that gay men simply don't have the brain cells to be attracted to women. And it's like, they're not, I guess you could say that's kind of, well, I mean, I'm not really a biology major, so I can't really like say something without having the proof to back it up. And so it also goes in to say that they were asking questions because in the world today, a lot of people are saying that um, people are homosexual due to like their background, where they come from. Like, oh my God, like they don't have a strong um, father figure, so they like, for instance, males, they don't have a strong father figure, so they're looking for men to like fill that hole that they need and stuff like that. And then they also go on to say that like they were like molested and stuff like that, which makes them go into homosexuality. And it's just like people are who they are at the end of the day, and like no matter how much research we go into, it's just going to make things more complicated. And I just believe that people should be left alone when it comes to that type of stuff. And I know this is gonna make some people mad, but it's like, to me, if you see homosexuality as a disease, but then there's Down syndrome and there's autism and stuff like that, and it's not seen as a bad thing, but homosexuality is seen as a bad thing. And it's like, to me, um, when it comes to uh, the religious portion of it, it's like everybody's all for, you know, the only person who is able to judge you and wreak judgment upon you is God and Jesus himself. Although there's people on this planet, on this world, that wreak judgment upon homosexual people, and it's like, you don't have that right. I mean, you do have a right, everyone, freedom of speech and stuff like that, but it's like, if you claim you're such a big Christian and stuff like that, like, why reap that judgment and see people differently just because of who they love? You know, like, at the end of the day, they're still a human being, and you're still a human being. You just love different people with different body parts and stuff like that. So it's just like, that really stuck out to me because it's not basing it off of like your environment and where you come from. It's basing it off of the biology when it comes to the brain, and so like people can get a deeper understanding of it. It's just like they're just saying that their brain works differently, you know? Like, accept it. Their brain works differently. They can't control it. It's completely out of their control. Like, a lot of people say that it's a choice, and it's like there are researchers out there doing the research for to back up behind this huge controversial conversation about homosexuality and heterosexuality when it really comes down to brain differences. And so chapter 4 really like hit home for me because like it really opened up my eyes to a broader meaning and evidence backing up homosexuality and heterosexuality.